All right. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Meets the Money Honey here. It is Wednesday, December 18th. We are looking at a flurry of economic news coming out today. So we're going to see some volatility in the market. I would completely expect for some sharp moves. We've got 8:30 coming up. Um, we've got some housing start information, building permits, so that should be for a wild ride in the markets. And then also we have a Fed interest rate decision happening this afternoon. So I would be very careful holding onto your positions through this news. We don't really know what's going to happen. But I am looking at Bitcoin right now, and overall, the cryptocurrency market is not looking great. We're considerably down today. Um, if you look at futures, we're slightly up. That looks good. But this could change in a minute. So, I know we are due for a correction in Bitcoin. So this is not surprising me at all. We kind of posted, this is a daily chart. So we're looking at this doji. We did hit this resistance level. So, just be mindful of, what your long-term or short-term investment horizon may be. I would not at all be surprised to see Bitcoin ride down to the bottom of this channel, somewhere between 88 and, 91 before we start heading back up again. I am still bullish on Bitcoin, and that's going to be that way for quite some time. Um, so just be mindful. If you're going to hold on, expect that we could see a significant decline. It could be as much as, at least $10,000 if we come all the way down here. So that's quite considerable. So anyway, just wanted to let you guys know that that could be on the horizon, or we could turn this baby around and march higher. If you look on the daily, we've got, pretty high price targets, but generally what you see is that, you'll get your signals lower and then they kind of move their way up. So if you look here, we're looking on the 5-minute time frame. We've sold off, we come up, we bump this 200 period moving average, and it looks like we're moving back down. Um, and you can see this on the 15-minute chart as well. We've got higher, this could be a short-term profit target, right? So we've got a little bit of a retracement, but we'll just see how this plays out. I mean, I really, for today, I would be watching the short-term charts just because of the economic news that we've got coming in. All right, so let's take a look quickly at some of our large caps. I'll just kind of, pick at random here. So I am going to look on the longer time frames because I am primarily a swing trader. And I am going to be putting together a training class for anyone who wants to learn the basics of swing trading. And I could also do some day trading classes as well. But after the first of the new year, I'm going to be putting together a swing trading class to kind of show you how I do it, my methodology. Of course, there's, a few different ways that people can swing trade, but the way I do it, I usually will get into a stock and hold it for several days. I like the longer term time frames before I either get in or exit a position. So Amazon, we are still moving up. Looks like we've got a price target of 236 and then even higher of 241. And we're still in this uptrend. So, my criteria for getting in when we're looking at these swing trades would be above the 200-day moving average and a candle close above the VWAP. And so we meet both of those criteria. Um, and I would be exiting either if we moved below the VWAP or the 200-day moving average, or we hit a profit target or a key resistance level. So that's when I would be taking profit. All right, let's take a look at Apple real quick. We're kind of looking at, seems like we're looking at almost the exact same chart, which is crazy. So we hit this $252 dollar price target, and we're still moving up. So just be mindful when you're looking here on the lower time frame charts. Typically, when we break through a major level, then you'll see a break and then a retest. So just keep your eyes on that because we are at a key resistance level here of 253. So before expect any further movement higher, this has 254 as the next price target. I would be looking somewhere higher, maybe 255 or so before I took it. But because typically when you break through a resistance level and retest and hold, then your next target is going to be the next resistance level. So this becomes support and then this becomes resistance. All right, let's see here. Let's look at Costco. We haven't looked at that in a while. Let's take the long-term view here. So we have hit a resistance level and it looks like maybe we're doing a little bit of a pullback, but we don't have a signal on a long-term chart. So I would be looking at a lower time frame to see what we look like here, whether I'm going to turn around and buy back in. So we've had this bearish signal. So this is a strong bearish signal. And we've come down to the 200-day moving average. This is on the hourly chart. I would be looking for a green candle close above this VWAP before I got back in and rode it to this $1,029 level. Excuse me, $1,009 dollar level. So before you take a long, make sure you're still above the 200-day and you have a candle close above this VWAP. And also, good idea, above this 987 pivot level before you go long on it. All right, let's take a look at, let's just pick some things at random. So HP, let me look at my longer time frame chart here. We have been in an uptrend and we've come down below this 200-day moving average. It looks like we had earnings on the 26th of November, and that caused quite a sell-off. So before I would be looking for a long, see, we're still trending upwards, but before I took a long on this, I would want to be above the 200-day and above the VWAP here. So we could be, let's look at the lower time frame and see where we are. Yeah, we've got a little ways to go before that happens. So that would be one that I would be watching to see if it gets back in the channel. All right, let's look interesting about Merck. I believe this is coming out of the NASDAQ, and that might actually be happening. I don't know if that's happening today or tomorrow, but MicroStrategy actually is going into the NASDAQ. So I just wanted to see how this stock actually was performing after being pulled out of that index. We're in a pretty good long downtrend here with another bearish signal. Looks like our next take profit is 95.75, and then on down here to around 90.50-ish or so. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, not looking the best for Merck. We want to zoom out here. We're below that 200-day. We're below the VWAP. So if I were going to enter a trade here, this would be a short for me. Let's take a look at MicroStrategy since that news came out. You wouldn't expect a stock to be having a correction after such bullish news. However, We follow Bitcoin with MicroStrategy. This is our proxy here. So if Bitcoin's having a pullback, MicroStrategy is probably going to have a pullback. And this looks very similar to a Bitcoin chart. We're kind of riding high on the top of this channel. So we're sort of due, honestly. Although Bitcoin still has higher level signals, it's not much different than if you look at what MicroStrategy is doing. That we're kind of riding high on the top of this channel, and then we're going to have a pullback. So this is kind of giving me an indication that Bitcoin's probably going to do the same. We've got a signal down here at the bottom of this channel for a second take profit of 291. So my case for Bitcoin is that it's probably going to do, this might be a little bit of foreshadowing, the Bitcoin's probably going to do about the same thing. So just heads up for you there. All right, let's look at maybe a couple more. Let's look at the SPY. Let's see what the SPY is doing. All right, so we've got some volatility here. Anytime I see these close signals like this, close proximity, that tells me that the market is really kind of trying to figure out what the heck is happening. Now we're in an uptrend, but if you want to draw some lines here, we can draw lines all day long, but this looks like some range action to me. Um, so, before we're moving up or down, we're going to want to break this range and hold a retest. So, I don't know, we still have pretty bullish signals, take profit targets here on the daily. We may be wanting to look at more short-term action to decide what we're going to do. And so, if you zoom in on this, you can see we've been kind of bumping around in this range for quite a while. So, before I took a definitive position, this is a good scalp here, up and down. This, if you're looking at doing any scalp trading, this is perfect because you're hitting the bottom of the channel, you're moving up, you're kind of back and forth here. So that's an easy scalp all day long. But as far as taking a swing position and holding it, I would not be doing that. I'd be waiting for a break of either one of these channel lines before we decided whether we were going up or down. Tesla has been having quite a run here, but we're down a little bit on the market. So let's take a zoom out here. We still have high profit targets on our daily chart, and we have zorched through this upward channel. But I would expect that we're going to be falling out of the sky a little bit and having a correction. So this completely does not surprise me to see that we're down. You probably want to look on the lower time frames to get a better idea of how this is going to work out, but it looks like we're probably going to kind of come down, maybe we may hold this 455 level, but we're showing take profit below. So that tells me that we're probably going to come more back down, revert to the mean, right? So if you just want to just draw a line here, that's where our support would be. Pivot levels 416. So I would fully expect that this thing's probably going to come back down to around 425 or so, if I had to guess. All right, I'm going to cut it there. Be careful out there today. Lots of market moving news. So you probably want to sit on the sidelines and watch what happens before you take a position. But happy trading and have an awesome day. Take care, everybody.